So we have a number of things under the President's report tonight, but I am, as usual, going to start with a little bit of gratitude. My gratitude for tonight is to express my thanks to all the teachers and staff that conducted all the open houses across the district over the past couple of weeks since we last met. I had the opportunity to go to two. I know many of my colleagues here at the table also had attended some. It's great to see families taking the time to meet their children's teachers and get a firsthand view of facilities that were out there, that their kids are learning in and day out. We appreciate the time teachers spend to prepare presentations and to stay late. And it's an important connection point for community members to start that relationship with teachers. And so just thank you to everybody involved in pulling off all of those meetings. In terms of things to take up tonight, we're going to do the Board of Education Governance Handbook. We're going to do the committee assignments. We're going to approve the list of people who've been assigned to help us out with the board committees. We've got a slight calendar adjustment. There's a policy to be introduced for some committee feedback, and we've got a data presentation on student performance. So we'll just take some of these one at a time, and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Ackerman. So for those who didn't tune in last time, over the summer, the board developed a governance handbook for itself in terms of its own roles and responsibilities. We posted that handbook for feedback so that people could, send us their input on, what's all included in there. We've had a chance to look at that very little bit of feedback that came in. And so tonight, we're actually going to take up adopting that handbook for the board's use going forward. So 1.1.1 is, be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby adopts the Chappaqua Central School District Board of Education Governance Handbook. And I will move that we do that. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion from anybody? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, terrific. Now we have a board handbook. And we'll put it up on the website and take it from there. The second thing we need to do under the President's report is we're going to, be it resolved, the Board of Education approves a list of community members for the Board Audit Committee, Communications Committee, Facilities Advisory, and the Health and Safety Committee and the Wellness Committee for a 2-year term for this school year and for next school year. So can I have a motion to approve those lists of community members?
Second.
Any more discussion of that? I'll just say thank you to the huge amount of interest we got for several of the committees. It's really great that we had a lot of talented people to pick from, and appreciate everybody wanting to get involved. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I will just add that if people don't already know, that these, even though if you haven't been selected, you are still free to attend these meetings because they're all open to the public.
Good point. Thank you. Third item on our President's report is we are making one shift to one of the meeting dates in January, so we just need to adopt that formally. So be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby adopts the revised 2024-25 board meeting calendar. Can I have a motion for that? Motion. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, and yeah, the rest of the stuff that I mentioned will be coming later in the meeting, so over to you, Dr. Ackerman.
All right, thank you. Okay, Andrew, would you like to introduce Andrew Shaver as West Orchard intern?
Of course I would. So I'm really pleased to present to you for your approval, Andrea Shaber as the interim assistant principal at West Orchard Elementary School. She's been there as the library media specialist. She's also been recommended for the FSLA program, the Future School Leaders Program that the district sponsors, and it's run through BOCES and Bank Street. I went through it, a number of people went through it. She is most of the way through there, eligible for an internship certificate, which allows her to work under that credential as she is finishing. We went through a search process. We're really happy to have her step into the role. She knows the building. She's very talented, hardworking, and knowledgeable, and she's there for your consideration.
And now on the agenda, thank you, Andrew, we have a merger request for gymnastics, and Jamie Block is joining us by Zoom. He's been working on this for about 1.5 years. So Jamie, do you want to talk a little bit about this merger request that you're
Yes.
asking the board to consider?
Yes, I apologize. I'm not there. So gymnastics came up a couple of years ago, different parents and a number of different schools looking to start a gymnastics program. A merger is when a number of schools get together to form a team when you don't have the facilities or the finances or the number of athletes. So for example, we are presently merged for girls ice hockey. Originally, it came up and it was going to be housed at World Cup, which is located right down in Chappaqua, which was, very exciting and would have been really unique and special for our kids. But unfortunately, they are not willing to do it. So it is now going to be up at Eclipse in Mayapack. At this juncture, it is Byram Hills will be the lead school. The schools that are interested in participating are Greeley, Irvington, Briarcliff, Sleepy Hollow, and Westlake. Gymnastics is unique in that only a certain number of individuals actually get to compete and perform. So there would wind up possibly being reductions. We have a few girls that are very interested in it, and I think it would be a unique opportunity to offer them this.
So before Jamie hops off the Zoom, are there questions from the board about this merger on the agenda?
Jamie, I think you named 6 schools that all sort of merge as one, with the host being Byram. Who do they actually compete against?
So there's not many individual gymnastics programs anymore. There's a number of schools that are merged, and there's a few individuals like Mayapack and things like that. But there's still about 12 schools. We would be a Division I school, and there's already a schedule. It's about 8 competitions at random sites. We would still look to try to host one at Eclipse. And so it's all different athletes throughout Section 1, and then obviously, and they also host a state championship as well.
Hillary, did you have a question?
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to understand, the athletes who would try out for this team are all current gymnasts, right? There just isn't a high school program for them?
No, that's correct. It's not so similar to swimming and hockey. You have to be proficient in these events. It's not where, hey, I've never done gymnastics, I want to try it. These are all pretty high level gymnasts. These are all pretty high level gymnasts that from level 8 up to level 9. We have one gymnast in our school, I believe, is a level 9 right now. So these are all very experienced gymnasts. It's not where you're coming out and want to learn the sport. These are going to be pretty high level kids.
Anyone could sign up and register to try out.
That's correct. Yeah, the registration is open, and then there'll be a tryout. And we may have athletes from Greeley. We may not.
Are there
It's
any
just
other
creating the
questions
opportunity.
for Jamie?
So can I ask a follow-up then? Like,
Yeah.
let's say we offer this, and I'm sure our athletes are great, but let's say we offer this opportunity and none of our athletes make the team. What are our obligations then?
There's no financial obligation then. The finances are broken down based on the number of participants that actually are on the team.
Okay, thanks, Jamie. You can hop
Thanks,
off
Jamie.
the Zoom. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, so now I'd like Jamie we have our mentors on the calendar this evening, on the agenda this evening. So Jamie, would you like to talk a little bit about that?
2 years ago, we started a, excuse me, a faculty student mentor program. And last year, most of our mentors continued with the mentees that they had the year prior. This year, we have 8 mentors that are taking on new mentees, and we're really excited about it. We're having our meeting tomorrow to go over the expectation of the program. We have already reached out to parents about the opportunity to have a faculty mentor, and the commitment that the mentor makes is to meet with the mentee 3 times for 30 minutes once per 6-day cycle for the course of the school year. And they meet at their school, talk about things that are important to the student. It is not in any way counseling or therapy. It is really just to ensure that the student has a trusted adult in their school community. So parents were very excited. The mentors are very excited. The mentees will find out that they are they're starting with their mentor sometime next week. So we are really excited about making this happen again for this upcoming school year.
Right, and just to also mention on the agenda tonight, under the sixes is our ruler contract, and ruler is the approach that we use in our K through 8 buildings to support our SEL work. And so in the elementary classrooms during back to school night, our teachers may have mentioned during morning meetings some of the core routines that they do that are anchored in the ruler approach out of Yale University. And then our middle school advisories, 5 through 8, have a series of lessons they do on social emotional learning. And I just want to also mention that in the high school, we've started advisory this year, but their program is based on one trusted adult from Brooklyn Rainey. And that was an adjustment we made based on a pilot that occurred over the course of last year in our life school. And now we're using that program in our 9th and 10th grade advisory, which our high school will be talking about when they present to the board at a future meeting. And then I also wanted to mention during the, and Ryan had also shared that the policy committee has created a new policy for a first reading tonight that is anchored in the First Amendment. And so we'll be reading that when it comes to that time on the agenda, and the policy committee discussed pushing that out to the community on Sunday during the week to get some feedback before we move into a second reading of this particular policy. So we'll talk about that more when we get to the threes.